Так, давай континуем, мне придумаем иностранные.
Hello and welcome everybody. This is Bitseven online trading session. And here with you is me. My name is Alex, and today with me is a good friend of mine. A good friend of mine, pro trader, and his name is Bob. He's sitting next to me. You don't see him, but you will hear him very well. He speaks English, and if something is not right, I can help him translating. So, the previous stream we had a very interesting discussion. We were talking with Vasily. Vasily is also a good friend of mine, also pro trader. So it's kind of interesting idea to show you guys different approaches. For today, we have streamed with like 4 or 5 different guys, and everybody everybody is a professional and they trade in a different manner, and also I have something to say, and maybe we will continue doing this. We will continue a series of different trading strategies, cryptocurrencies trading strategies. We will bring to the studio many different guys, experts, and have a talk with them. So today I am with Bob.
So, hi. First of all, I would like to discuss with you some news. With this bull market, we have to analyze some, think about our future, and etc.
Uh-huh.
So, the first topic is the huge growing market.
Yeah, I think everybody wants to hear about the sudden growth of Bitcoin. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, what do you think?
So, the last growth, of course, had some reasons, but not all of them so obvious as you can think from the first view. For example, we can see some, big invest companies, some big funds which started to open some positions in crypto, in Bitcoin, in
So I
Ripple.
think it's like whales start moving. Yes, institutionals came to the market.
Yes, institutionals came to the market, and simple people start to interest crypto like.
Uh, and the total race in crypto interest, yes, over the market.
Yes, for it like goes back to 2018 to 2017, when there was a big hype on it, and now we see a little comeback to this area.
So you think that the general mood of the public, of big players, of small players, has changed? Yes.
Yes, it started to be more positive.
And why so? Why? What happened? I think yes. Well, of course, guys. I don't think that like we can tell you the exact reasons, but we want to hear your opinion. Why do you think? Why now? Why today?
One of the big reasons is that a lot of governments in a lot of countries understood that crypto is a thing which you can't deny. It exists and it will exist long. So many operations are going through cryptocurrencies, For
Like
example,
international transfers,
yes,
yes.
international transfers. Some companies start to get payments through crypto and everything like that. You know, we see even coffee machines, vending machines. We see now which are getting crypto. So
Have you seen one? Have you ever seen a coffee vending machine which can be paid with bitcoins?
yes, I saw a few.
Where?
Uh, Now it's just like prototypes, but even in Russia, in Saint Petersburg,
Yeah, really.
guys made a vending machine. You can show it to the audience. I'll find it in a few seconds, and we will show them. It's a machine where you can find different types of coffees, you know, hot chocolate, and pay with BNB,
Well, it's
Bitcoin.
kind of regular coffee machine, but it can be paid with Bitcoin.
Yeah,
And is it legal to put such a machine in St. Petersburg?
Of course, as I know, Russian rules, it's not legal because the law says that only payment currency which is legal on the Russian territory is ruble. So if you want to pay somewhere for something in Russia, you have to change your current cryptocurrency, dollars, euros to ruble first.
So guys made a prototype, but it still can be put in work.
Yes, but as I know, the main theme is not to sell it in Russia. The main theme to make it worldwide.
So they kind of made a machine to sell it in other countries. Yes.
You're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, it's just a good example how market starts to grow on some minimum scale, you know, things. But also we see a lot of big funds which started to open positions in Bitcoin. For example, we have Boris Silbert, who is the how to say it, one of the founders of Grayscale Investment Fund, and we see that in February they got about $750 million for crypto trading, and now the crypto fund is more than $1 billion. So it's quite good reason to start to believe in the market, because we see some institutionals that start to trade and push the price forward.
And why did they start moving? Like, let's have a look on the chart. We see, well, maybe let's put, well, 1 hour, 1 day. What do you think is more clear?
I think it's better you to switch 1 hour chart.
1 hour, yes. Okay, so let's turn off the Bollinger for now. Yep. And so, as we see, the market was generally in a flat trend with quite a not so big volatility, and suddenly on the 2nd of April we see a huge rise, like from what? From 4,157 to maximum of 5,005 5,051. So it's kind of
Yes,
it's kind of $900 movement. It's about well, 25% of the price.
yes, only in 2 days. It's just unbelievable. But the one of the reasons of so huge growth, I think, is the size of the market is not so big, and now we see that big companies, big invest funds start to trade, start to put long positions, and it might be a reason of that huge growth that people see that some serious money come to the market, and some people, simple people, start to believe in it and start to buy it too. So it's
No,
like, you know.
okay, okay. Well, but why do you think it's happened on 2nd of April? Why that? Because you see, it's kind of huge vertical jump. So it's even it's almost not corrected. Yes. So I think it's shows that like market movers and general public suddenly on the 2nd of April started to buy and just with no hesitation. Why on the second? Why? Do you think it was some impact? Some maybe some big player showed an example and everybody came. How do you think?
It doesn't really matter that it happened on the 2nd of April. It could be happened on the third or the fifth. But the one of the main reasons, I think, is that it was like the time where some critical mass of the trades of orders was gained, and so it pushed price very high. So I think maybe 1st of April and a few weeks before that was the time where people were making some orders on for the long positions, and maybe, some guys who didn't believe very much in this world, they decided to buy some on the 1st of April, like, like a joke,
Joke.
like joke investment.
So you think like a $1,000 rise is a joke?
No, it's not a joke, but I think maybe about 5% of the buyers are like
Occasionally.
like, yeah, not too minded in the investment.
Uh-huh.
I think so.
This also played for this rise of the price.
Yes.
Well, I think yeah, you told about pretty interesting stuff that maybe it's the start of the month. Yes, and as a pro trader. Um, I think many guys who are watching us, they want to know some psychology or maybe just the what's usual for traders. Uh, it's kind of like, uh, does it matter like it's the start of the month or it's the end of the month, or so? You mentioned that some people put a lot of orders on the start of the month. Something like that.
Not it's not just because it's start of the month or start of the new season. It's just general market mood. For example, we see the CEO of Binance, who says that there is a lot of money which are ready to come to the crypto market, uh, and everything like that. We see how big funds start to trade. We see.
Well. Why? Yes, that's all. We all know that pretty much, but can explain such a thing that this positive information was like we have a two flows of information, a positive one and a negative one. Yes, and the positive information is pretty much constant. That digital economy grows, money, yes, legislation process go, and so on and so on. But why, for example, it happened 2 days ago? Why not 10 days ago? The informational influence was pretty much the same. I mean, did you mention that maybe some news came or some special maybe some event. What triggered that? So I think what triggered, what was the trigger?
Of course, the main trigger of this growth is our whales.
Yeah,
But
but what triggered whales? Yes. Why they started to move?
whales are not triggered, you know. Whales trigger everything around.
Well, but why they started moving 2 days ago? There are just a huge period of pretty much nothing happens, even struggle, and then suddenly market movers did their job.
As I said, it's like a critical mass, you know. Big traders came, and now we see that positive news are much coming much more than some negative things. We see some, for example, we wait from Russian Federation for new laws about cryptocurrency regulation things and everything
And
like that.
what can you expect from that?
We expect that they will finally make a law which will tell us how to trade it, how to pay laws, how to pay taxes from the crypto trading, you know, how to buy it legally, how to sell it legally, and everything like that. Because for now, in Russia, it's like, you know, a gray market. So it's not illegal, but it's still not legal, and many people are afraid of trading, that the government will tell them something or they will freeze their money,
Mhm.
and when they
And
will.
well, the estimated time for this law, when we should wait for it?
It should, I think it should happen about July.
By July.
Yeah.
Pretty much soon.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're waiting for this.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah, it's will be very interesting
It will
to know.
make our life much more easier.
Okay, I see. So you think it's not some certain news, but just critical mass? Yes, that's your opinion.
Yes, I think so. And also big whales who decided to play along. You know, the I think the first and the main reasons are still whales, and after them, people started to believe, started to buy too, and started to
Yes,
make some
the
good
market was
news.
moved. I
Yes.
see. But how do you think? Maybe, well, just my guess, just like a speculation. Maybe, as all we know, the big players and well, like for example, in the field of banking, in the field of trading stocks or even currencies, not just cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, in that field, like big players know some inside information. Yes, they have access to information that will be available for general public with a lack of well, maybe with lack of few months, for example. So maybe these big whales they have known something. Maybe they knew something that is not obvious for us today. Maybe they have like an official talk with SEC, and how do you think? Is it possible?
I'm not sure about that, but the topic that you studied is actually illegal in the trading world, but and in for example, in the United States, for inside information, traders can go to jail. And but I understand your question, and the answer is that the size of the markets. For example, stock market, American stock market exists for more than 100 years, and the capitalization is so big that even a huge whales, the for example, some one of the richest people in the world can't change the price of the main stocks very much. They can change it for about few percent, but the size of the market can't let them make more. And from this point of view, the crypto market is has a big advantage because its capitalization is so small that you can put, for example, $50 million to the exchanges, put some long orders, and it will and you will see what we are seeing now. You know.
So if you have like, so guys, everybody who have $50 million, you can drive the Bitcoin market.
It was
Well,
example,
if I think $50 million is not enough. I just don't remember what is the capitalization of.
the capitalization of Bitcoin for now is like 115 billions, and so with $1 billion you can change it significantly.
Well, yes, but that's $1 billion. It's very much like a
I mean
like a budget of a small country.
yes, but I mean in a stock market world you can't be so powerful with the same amount of money.
Yeah.
So, and the other reason is not is that crypto is not finally regulated, and people can make such things. For example, if you will try to push the price of the stock on the Nasdaq or any other stock market exchange in the US, it will be illegal, and you will get some sanctions.
Well, yes, I know about that. Inside is illegal, but I think everybody uses the inside information. It's just not, and I think it's kind of hard to prove that. Well, if somebody told you like, well, if some like, for example, official person give you exact information about some low comment and so on, that's can be proven. But if they just give you a hint, if they just tell you some information which is actually not secret, but it can be a sure guide for you that the direction will be as you see it.
Any information which is not public is inside, so it's not legal to go to the, for example, Volkswagen and ask them how much cars they
Plan to produce.
yeah, if this information is not available in the public, or it's not illegal to trade with the knowledge of how much car parts some car parts producing company has, if it doesn't tell it to everybody.
Hmm. Well, but do you really believe that big whales don't use the contacts? And I think they are not so kind of they not do it in a straight way, but I think they communicate. You know, and I just uh, maybe it's in USA. It's very strictly regulated. I don't know, but in Russia, I know a good friend of mine who was working at the trading department in one bank, and he told me that like about 15% of trades were made on inside information. That was the stock, Russian stock market.
Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe.
maybe.
I'm not sure.
So you're against it, yes? It's not you think it's a dirty way to do this, yes?
Yes, I think yes.
Okay, guys, let's be honest. Let's don't. Let's not break the law because we all want to work in a clear, transport way. So it's the best way for our financial situation and for everybody and for the economy in a global way. And I think that's the trend that Bitcoin is getting more and more transparent, more and more legal, and the legislation comes. I think it's a good trend, and as you see, professional traders stand for it. They like it, so it's nice to hear that. So and actually, the previous stream we were talking with Vasily, and Vasily noticed some interesting thing that the character of Bitcoin chart uh, is like, for example, like flat, 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 huge rise, huge short rise. Or for example, like here, a long flat rise, long flat rise, and drop. Yes, so why is it so? Why is it like the behavior of market is like we stand on a long flat, then suddenly a short drop or short rise happens, and then we again drift in a long flat. Can you comment this?
I think the main reason is the size of the market. So we see that flat where what happened where when there wasn't big interest in crypto, when people didn't trade much, when some institutional money didn't come, and when we see just a little start of the interest, so it starts to shows us insane growth.
Ah, Krapivny. Hello, hello. Uh, yes, we see you. Uh, can you please type something? uh, just what is the
Okay, if you're interested in charts, we can discuss some. We can show our viewers some our chart, make it more scalable.
uh-huh.
Немножко
You can have it.
yeah, and try to analyze some.
Okay, it will be interesting to hear. No. Just yep.
Mhm. So, as we see, we're gonna open a 30 minutes chart, 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I think one day will be better.
Mm-hmm.
So now we can see few ways to go in of going forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of them I think is of course we will see it later when the volumes will come and show us some, but now we I think can see two variants of going forward. One of them is if we continue to grow. I think the next step of our growth is about 500 5,200 or to 5,400. It's like it's
So
like a
you,
good.
you think it's like this level, yes? What, 5,000?
Yes, the from 5,400
You can
to
say.
500 for, to 5,600. I think it's a good place to consolidate and maybe.
So we think it will go for this level, yes?
Yes, it's a
And
good level.
it's like resistance level, yes?
Yes, but it will happen if we will see the big interest of institutional as we see now, and the bullish market if the bullish market will continue. But on another hand, I think we can see, how I can make it.
Uh, just понял.
Okay.
Fully left.
Okay, thank you. So, but on the other hand, I think we can wait, for some consolidation and back for going back down, and one moment, we will open 1 hour chart, and there I think the nearest
The nearest maximum, yes?
no, I think the nearest place to consolidate is from 4,300, I think, to 4,500. I think it's the place where buyers will exist, sellers from that market.
So you think another scenario is if we have the bearish trend, it's like we will hit the level about this, yes?
I think a little bit lower.
This?
Yes, maybe a little bit lower too. Like this maybe. I think it's like first resistance point, but it can go down more because it's not so powerful a level.
And actually, what's your logic in selecting the resistance levels and maximums or minimums? Because, for example, like we see like time interval about. So you used this line. This is 23rd of December. That's about 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's about 4 months ago. Well, we can just approximate that's less than a half a year.
Yes.
So why did you choose that levels? Why not, for example, take some other more closer to the for the recent day?
Because the psychological things, and the market power is not changing much in these time frames. And when I was learning how to trade, a lot of traders teach me first of all to analyze market from it's the simplest things that it shows can show you what can be done next. For example, First of all, we're looking.
Radiator, hello. Nice to meet you. You are free to ask question. Here with you, my name is Alex. I'm the representative of the Bitseven blog and also trader. And here with me sits Bob. He's also a professional trader, and now he's giving us a little bit analytics. We can understand Russian, but we speak in English. That's our rules. So you can ask a question in Russian, but we will answer you in English. Is it okay with you?
So, let's continue.
Yes.
The main things which we use while analyzing price of Bitcoin and all other assets is the chart and the volume. But the main problem of the crypto market is that there is no exchange which can give you
Clear volumes.
clear volumes. Yes. So we look. We don't look at the volumes on each exchange. We look at the volumes of the whole market. You know, and then we
Compare.
and then we compare. Chart.
Radiator, because we know Russian, but that's our rules. We're speaking English. That's
Yes.
yes. Our translation, as our blog in general, is aimed at general international public. So we that's our rules. But we
Yes.
know Russian.
Yes. Я говорю немножко по-русски too.
Bob has Russian origin.
So yes, I have Russian roots.
Yeah.
So we compare.
Well, like Vitalik Buterin, yes. But now you live in California.
Yes. Alright.
Okay.
So we compare the whole market volume and the Bitseven chart, and try to find some levels which we can where we can buy or sell.
Мы понимаем по-русски, но по правилам нашего блога мы говорим на английском, потому что трансляция нацелена на международную аудиторию. Вы можете задать нам вопрос на русском, но ответим мы на него на английском. Окей.
So like this, I think the main thing is comparing of the whole market volumes and the Bit7 chart, but in some cases, where actually it happens very rare, but in some cases where we are not sure about our analyze, we can use also some instruments like MACD, Bollinger, but as I said, you don't have to trust them much, because all these instruments are made from all the information, the most of information.
I got you. And you said that if no exchange can give you 100% clear information about volumes, and you can get it total volumes or what? Just
yes, the total volumes, which how to say it?
And where can you see that?
Sometimes we look on the coin market cap, and also there is a good alternative on the Bit7 site, where you can find there also the crypto market prices, crypto market volumes, and everything like that.
Maybe we can have a small peek on the volumes.
Peak, so sorry.
Peak, посмотреть, значит. Maybe we can just open for no, it's.
I think it's not necessary now, because we already analyzed and I already said my opinion. it won't be changed because
Because you're sure with.
I'm not sure, but
And usually, do you use this general volume information in your trading? Well, as
of course,
obvious
yes,
every time.
yes, every time.
Uh,
No, not every time. I mean, the bullish market that happened in last few days.
yes, Radiator. We are talking about Bitcoin, as you can see here. Yes, Bitcoin, Bitseven index price. Right now we are trading at Bitseven.com. It's a crypto exchange, and we're analyzing Bitcoin cryptocurrency. Also, we have here Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple, but that's not for today. I think today we're talking about Bitcoin.
Yes.
Okay, let's continue.
So where did we start?
About volumes that you use it.
Yes. About volumes, you asked if I use it every time, and I want to say that, for example, on the bullish market, which happens for last few days, volumes are not so how to say it.
Informative.
Informative because we see that this bullish run is like some big fund investment, and we just have to wait for some consolidation. We have to wait how the global crypto market will stand it, will react. Yes, and then we will make some opinions. I think the volumes which will come which comes now and which will come I think in a week more, will show the real frame of the market.
And so let's return to the previous topic. Why did you choose that level? So why and why it's like a 4 months ago, and why not the half years, for example? Why? Maybe it's kind of obvious question for you, but why you named this level? Why, for example, we can, in the same logic, we can say that it will break the resistance line of, for example, for this resistance line.
Of course, if now we will see that all the cryptocurrency market is bullish, we will see the continuing of the bull market, and then we will consolidate on the next existence level. But as I said, it's not just this level. It's like the the price can be different because it's like it's like when you go in a metro, you don't know if there will be 10 people or 8 people. So here is the here we see some things which are looking like that, so we can wait it from this level to this level, because if we compare some
maybe I can so did I got you right that you mean that if it will break, for example, this resistance line, that it's more probably that it will break in another the previous resistance line.
Yes, I think so.
So you named the closest resistance level to the
right.
Yes. Yes, I got you. And with the bearish trend, which is also possible, the logic is like whoa. Yes, that's also the closest. Yes, that's the closest maximum. Yes.
Yes, I think from from here
Uh-huh.
to here, I think the price can consolidate if we go back.
Uh-huh.
But if the global market will continue the growth, we will see.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and we have a question from Red Editor. Uh,
So,
as far as I know, Bitcoin has fallen horribly in price. Does it make sense to continue to fight this
I'm sorry,
cryptocurrency?
Red Editor, what do you mean by fight?
Yes, that's a good question. Fight. Uh, and fight. What do you mean fight? You mean to sell, to buy, to? What do you mean by that?
I'm not sure, maybe he asks if it will go bullish.
I think he meant like if there's a horrible fall down, does it make sense to keep long position to buy? Maybe something like that.
I'm not sure. Maybe he means that some the cryptocurrency addicts are still fighting for some laws in the country.
Ah,
So
you
it
you
can
mean
be,
you mean mass adoption
yes.
to fight for? Well, maybe. Well, let's answer the both questions. Yes. I think that mass adoption is generally an avoidable process, and
Yeah. The main thing.
it doesn't depend about the price speculations. I think it has cryptocurrencies has a lot of advantages, like it's very convenient for international payments. It can be used to avoid sanctions, and decentralization is a very popular idea among the crypto community. So mass adoption, I think it doesn't depend on the price. Even if it's not Bitcoin, even if its Bitcoin price falls down to the lowest level possible, I think it won't be a big influence. Well, it will be, but it would be, but I think the mass adoption is unavoidable. It will go anyway. Uh, Enzo Castello, hi, hi. We're here having a conversation
Oh,
with Pro Trader Bob, and my name is Alex, and we
we
are.
got some Italiano.
Yes, Enzo, are you from Italy? Nice to meet you. How is it going in Italy? And the second question, I think,
So
well,
sorry.
uh-huh,
As you said before, yes, you're right that the price doesn't show the global picture of mass adoption in the world, but as we know, the price is the price shows the demand and the supply
uh-huh,
of the market. So if we see the mass adoption in the world, there will be a huge demand for Bitcoin, for cryptocurrency, and we will see that the price will go up for Bitcoin for sure, because as we know, the Bitcoin there are only 21 million of them, and if we will see the mass adoption and the demand for it will grow, we'll see the
and you,
growth of the
you you
market.
said that for today the market is moved by big players, and for example, if something happens and something the moods of whales will change drastically. Uh, Insieme però Enzo, I'm not. I don't know Italian well. The only word I understand is Vittoria. If you want to, for us to understand you, please type something in English. But Italian is good. I'm a great fan of Italy. The BTC will grow about 20,000. Oh, uh, yes, Bob.
Enzo, we seriously believe the Bitcoin will cost 1 million one day. But the main thing of the trader is not to tell how much it will cost. The main thing is to tell when it will cost. So
hmm Yes, you see, the pro guy is is not about fantasies. It's about the exact. Uh, um,
For sure, 20,000 for sure will be. You know,
and when
maybe.
you're a pro guy, you always tell the exact terms. When it
I
will be.
think the end of the 2019 and 2012, I think, is a very realistic time where we can see going back to this price.
And you yes, he Enzo says like 2020 everyone will get Bitcoin vision. Yes, I think if we will see another big wave of mass adoption, another big wave of positive interest to cryptocurrencies, the legislative positive changes. So lots is kind of a second big wave. I think we will get to the
Yes, it's
20,000.
not. It's like, it's like, yeah, you're right. It's like waves in the ocean. Like hype goes up, hype goes down.
Yeah.
Some people start
And
to.
traders are like surfers. They
Yeah, yeah.
just got
You,
kind of
you,
surf it.
yeah, you start to like Bitcoin, then it gets boring, then you stop trading, then you go back. You see that everybody adopts it, everybody use it. You start to trade again, then you start to sell it, and so it goes on.
And how do you think in a far future, and maybe not so far, it's kind of like waves, and yes, we can see like we see a wave for mass adoption, then something happens, people try to experiment, they do transfer, so on, so on, and then it's kind of brings up some reaction when people people start doing this, and for example they see a lot of frauds, yes,
Yeah.
and people for example start doing this, and they see that suddenly Iran avoids sanctions with cryptocurrencies, and do you think will we see another wave of another negative wave, coming from fundamental reasons, like for today we see a trend for mass adoption, and do you think will we see another wave of hesitating, of confusion, of fear?
I think that all the negative things with crypto already happened or happened because it allows people to for money laundering, for to anonymize their transactions for some dark things, and we see that the world is fights it very good. We see some
You
systems.
think it's effective?
I think some of the things are quite effective. We see that governments start to how to say it. They can identify some wallets through IP addresses where
Mhm.
it logs in and everything like that. But talking about waves and mass adoption, as I know, in Russia you have such project which actually called Waves, and now they started some blockchain projects. Some, they make some databases and everything like that, which some such big companies as Sberbank, Vostok company,
They
and
start to implement blockchain.
yes, they start to improve it and make it better.
Well,
So
I think I heard very often I hear such opinion that blockchain is very good, it is a future and so on, but digital currencies is a bad thing. So for many people, do you believe that it's all a big conspiracy from Wales? Maybe the sea will go up. Do you believe in a big conspiracy from Wales, Zagor?
uh, Enzo, I'm not sure, but we see some reasons to think like this because there are some before the growth to 5,000 now there were some small transactions to the huge wallets which were like 888 BTC no bit Satoshi, I'm sorry. And um, and it goes to a lot of big wallets, and after that the market started to be bullish, and a lot of big orders started to to come to exchanges. Some robots started to trade it.
So you think there's some ca- like cartel, or so how it's called?
It's not cartel. I think it's a very small company of people, but
And they decide together where will market go? Yes.
I think yes. That's why we want this market to be more legal. We want to see some laws, from different countries. For example, like United States are doing now. They trying to make it anti-monopoly market, so guys can't make legally price goes so high so down.
Hmm. And what do you think? Should we wait for a general trader who is not very familiar with crypto market? Should one wait for this legislation to come, or he can try to trade it right away, despite the conspiracy, uh, despite the whales?
Sorry.
I mean, um, uh, the general trader who is not familiar with Bitcoin, uh, should he wait for this legislation anti-monopoly to
Of
enter the market, or should he try right
I
now?
get. It depends on each guy
Uh-huh.
because of course the legal market will be more safe, but on the one hand, but on another hand there will be less volatility. The capitalization of the market become very high, and so it will not be possible to gain so much profit as you can gain it now. But now you have some risks with some blocks, but I think that now is a very good time to start trading because it's very young market where you can buy and get some very really good profit. For example, leverage. If you have not very big money, you can use leverage trading. You can use some 100x leverage. For example, Bitseven is very good example for that. Our team trades there in about every day. Yeah,
And make profit.
yeah. We will make profits. Some will have a little. Little we have no
Well, there's
profit.
no profit without
No
losses.
profitable days. Yes, but we surely can say that this platform pays, and this platform has really nice fees, and it's stable.
Mm. That's nice to hear. And I think, guys, that was a good general resume for our today's session. Today's situation is pretty much good for everybody to start trading. So, guys, don't lose your opportunity. Buy before it gets to 20,000, so you can earn a lot of money.
Yes.
So, and today with you were me, my name is Alex, and Bob. He's a pro trader from Bitseven team.
The moon is soon, guys.
Yeah, so nice to hear you, Enzo, Red Editor, and Paul Solomon, and other guys who watched us. Come to us again. Next streaming session will be on Friday. Uh, around the same time. So keep an eye for our announcements, and bye. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank
Peace.
you.